I think it would be an environment where people can talk about what they're struggling with, whether they identify as mentally disabled, ill, whatever, and that's acceptable, and we still treat them as people, and it's something that we take in and use to inform how we interact around them, not as in, oh, hey, they're broken, like, stay away from them, ew, but more of a, okay, if they've got PTSD, what kind of thing triggers them? How can we help protect them and make them feel safe too? I think it's really being more aware of where everyone's at, regardless of whether they identify as, hey, I'm mentally ill, or hey, I'm in the LGBT community, or whatever it is, and making sure that they feel safe to be who they are, that it's not something that they have to hide from, because honestly, having to hide it makes it worse. Stop saying you're depressed. Stop saying, oh my gosh, stop telling people you understand when they say it. They're just as much as it offends people to use the word faggot when you're referring to someone who's gay, or you're saying, oh, that's so retarded, when you're talking about something you think is dumb, even though it's a disability for someone else. Stop saying you're depressed. You don't understand. A lot of people think that depression is this sad feeling, and oh yeah, I was so depressed last week, and like I was just sad about this. There's such a difference between being anxious about something and living with anxiety, where there's just that energy out of nowhere. I was hanging out with a friend and had a trigger happen, and I locked myself in a bathroom for 2 hours and was crying on the floor. Like, that's living with anxiety. That's living with PTSD. And when you say, oh yeah, I was depressed then, or oh, I totally understand, when you don't, it just causes us to shut down, because you think you get it, and you've already got this assumption in your head of what it is, and how do we explain to you how we're really feeling, or what kind of pain we're in, if you've already decided you know what it is? And oh yeah, I totally get it. Oh yeah, well, I was depressed then too. It belittles what we're going through, just like it belittles someone in the gay community, or it belittles someone who really does have a mental disability from whatever, whether it's they were in an accident or they were born that way. It belittles what they're going through. So to really be open, stop just using all these slurs, and stop claiming, oh yeah, say, hey, you know, I was really sad last week, or oh yeah, that really got me down, but don't say I was depressed, because it's become so common that everyone just thinks depression's not really a thing, it's just a feeling.
That hits actually on self-identifying. So, you know, allowing people to choose the words that they want to use to describe themselves. And it sounds like you're saying not only ask people to allow you to choose how you want to be described, but also allow you as an identity holder to choose how the words around your identity should be used.
I think that that's kind of important, because it's a legitimate mental illness. Like, if someone said, oh yeah, I broke my arm, you know, they've got a cast on for months and all this stuff, and somebody's like, oh yeah, you know, like, I totally broke my arm last week, but they're not in the cast. You can tell that, oh, there's a bruise. Like, no, you didn't break your arm. That's really stupid. Why would you say that? You know, we clearly make that connection. That's really dumb. But you know, when we say, oh, that's retarded, we've like numbed ourselves to like, oh, we're just saying it's dumb. Like, well, then say it's dumb. Nobody gets offended when you say, oh, that's dumb. But because retard was a word that was initially started for mental disabilities, you're associating them with that and constantly saying, oh, well, they're dumb. And that's rude to them. And just like saying, oh, I was depressed. Well, if it was 2 days because your boyfriend broke up with you, versus, hey, I've been dealing with this for 6 months, 6 years, whatever, you know, where I self-harm, I'm suicidal, there are days I don't get out of bed because I can't move. It's not the same thing. And just as it would offend someone with a broken arm or in the mentally disabled community, like, it's kind of offensive to us, and it causes us to shut down. Like, why do we want to open up to you if you think you get it and turn it into this little box of it's not a big deal? So I just say, be careful with the image you put out there. Be careful with the words you use, because you may not be attacking my group, but if you're attacking a different group, it feels the same way to me.